G'day everybody, welcome to another Affinity photo tutorial. This week I'm going to create a cyborg. This is the photo here that I'm going to use. I've already cut out the model using my selection brush tool here. So just got the model on her own layer. I'm just going to call that model. And I'm going to use my pen tool next to create some cutouts. And what I'm going to do is cut out the torso here, cut out a section here, and cut out a section of the leg. So I'll start off with the torso. I'm just going to zoom in and start on this little section here. And I'm just going to use my pen tool. I'm just going to click on this area here and then come to about here. And then just pull that out till I get that round bit there. Click on that little blue dot and then click over here and then pull again and to the end here. It's just so I get that roundness there. Click on that little dot again at the end. And do the same to the torso here around this section. And we're just going to go all the way around section here. Way around to here, and then let's join those up and then just pull that to get that shape a little bit. Now we can come over to our node tool here just to realign some of those. That a little bit better. And that doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to go back to my pen tool and come up here and hit selection. You can see that I've now got a selection around just the stomach or torso area here. I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard to get rid of that, and then Command D to get rid of those marching ants. And then I'm just going to grab my erase brush tool and just clean up that a little bit. Give it a bit of a clean up, all those bits we don't want. And you can go around these edges with a very small brush if you want and just do a little clean up around the edges. Okay, I won't worry too much about it on this one, but I'd normally go and clean all that up nice and clean. So I'm going to do a few other cutouts now, and I'm going to cut out this section here as well. Same method, just using the pen tool. So I'll just speed that up a little bit. Come up here to selection. I'm going to do the same, just delete that as well. Get rid of the marching ants, and again, just on your erase brush tool, use your right and left bracket keys to make that a bit bigger. And we can just clean that up a little bit. Okay, let's go to our next cutout now, which is going to be on the face here, again on our pen tool. This one I'm going to start about here on the chin. Just come round all the way down here. And then I'm just going to come around here and to about here. And at this stage, we can just click and join those. Come over here to selection. And on this selection, I'm going to go Command X to delete and Command V to copy. Get rid of the marching ants. And then on that face, we'll come over here to our move tool. And we'll just pull that up a little bit about there. And use our erase brush tool just to get that little bit there. Might be actually on the body. Yep, there we go. So we just get rid of that little bit. That's our other cutout. So we've got our face now. So let's just name that face. Back onto the model layer, we've got one more cutout to do, and it's going to be the knee. So let's go a little bit smaller with our Command minus. And back on our pen tool, I'm just going to cut this knee out. And then let's join those two up. Come up here to selection. Again, I'm just going to delete that bit, get rid of the marching ants with the Command D, and then grab my erase brush tool again. Make it a little bit bigger with my left and right bracket keys and get rid of some of that. And just tidy that up a little bit. I can see a bit there and a bit up here. Just tidying that up. Okay, so at this point, our model should look like this. Zoom in a little bit more. Just on my erase brush tool, I might just get rid of that black mark there. Looks a little bit better. Command 0, so this is where we should be at with all of our cutouts. So the next thing I'm going to do is come over here to my ellipse tool, and I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to rasterize that just to make it a pixel layer, and then move it down a bit smaller, turn it round, and I'm just going to fit it in here. I'm going to come over here to my perspective tool here. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to drag that down, and that out a little bit. I'm going to hit apply on that. And let's just zoom out and have a look. Yep, that looks pretty good there. I'm going to copy that now. Let's copy that one with the Command J. And I'm going to bring a copy over to where the knee is here and zoom in. We'll turn that round a little bit and make it smaller. And fit that in about there. And let's have a look at that. Maybe we can just come up a tiny bit. About there. I'm going to make another copy. Command J. Let's go back to here. Back on our move tool. And I'm going to turn that round smaller. And that's going to be on my foot here. So zoom in. Just holding my shift key down as I move around. And I'm going to fit that about there. So Command 0. Let's just do one more. Command J, and let's move that one over here. Might put this one behind our model. Let's move that up. And that down a little bit. Zoom in. This one I might grab my mesh warp tool and just see if I can warp that into place a little bit better. Down here as well. Here we can warp that into place. That doesn't look too bad, so let's hit apply. Might come back to this one. Just on the mesh warp tool, I might just bring that down a little bit like that. Hit apply. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. So we're ready to bring over the picture of our engine here. And this is the picture of the engine I'm going to use. So Command C, back over to our picture. At this stage, I'm just going to put it right on top. Grab my move tool. And I'm just going to turn it and make it a bit smaller. And I want to fit that into this section here. Now I'm going to bring the engine underneath our model. And then this little black fill that we created, I'm going to bring that underneath the engine. Let's zoom in. And click on the engine. And let's just make that a little bit smaller. About there looks pretty good. And again, I'm going to come over here to my mesh warp tool. I'm just going to warp that into place. Be down a little bit here as well. And just tidy that up a little bit. And I might just bring that pipe down to about there, and then just bring that one up to about there. And once you're happy, hit apply. I'm happy with that. Command 0 to have a look. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to make another copy of that engine with Command J. Come over here to my move tool. I'm going to turn this one around, and I want it in this section here. Make it a bit smaller. And I might just zoom in again. Again, onto my mesh warp tool. Just want to put it about here, and then this section maybe down about here looks pretty good. Maybe just bring that in about like that. I think looks pretty good. So let's hit apply on that one. So I'm going to grab another fresh copy of this engine here, Command C. Back to our picture. At the moment, I'm just going to put it on top, Command V. So we've got our fresh copy of our engine. So let's just bring it down where we're sort of going to fit it. On this fresh copy of the engine, I'm going to make another 2 copies and just turn those top 2 off for now. And then on this engine, this is going to come underneath our model. And then our black infill is going to come underneath our engine. So let's zoom in a little bit and come over to where this part of the leg is. Let's just call that one, before we get all confused, leg 1, and enter. Now we're going to use our mesh warp tool again. And let's just, and let's just manipulate that one into place a little bit. Okay, let's hit apply on that. Now we can bring our, let's do another copy of this one and call this leg 2. Enter. Let's bring that one underneath leg 1. And let's bring that down, and let's come up to arrange and flip horizontal. And let this one in here, make that a bit smaller. Let's put it above leg 1 for now, so we can see if we can just these in together. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's have it underneath. Maybe about there on leg 1. Let's take our little erase tool and just get rid of that bit there so they look a little bit more seamless. And back to our move tool, and then leg number 3 up here. Let's do leg 3. Hit enter. Bring this one down as well. This one, and let's go arrange. Flip horizontal again. Get a lot smaller. And let's try and fit that one in about there. This little one will bring all the way underneath our engines. And that way we can just move that down a little bit. About there, I reckon. Let's have a look at that. Command 0. Yeah, I think that is looking pretty good. Going to do another copy of this engine here. So let's come back to our move tool, maybe this one. Command J. And I'm going to move this behind her face here. So let's just put this one around. And underneath here, maybe a little bit bigger. Zoom in. And we can use our mesh warp again just to get that in here. About like that, and hit apply. So I think we've got all of our engine parts in place. So that is looking pretty good. So that one we can name face engine. Got that as leg number 2 and leg number 3. And that is looking pretty good so far. So the next thing I'm going to do is change all of these engines. I'm going to put a recolor on them. So down here to recolor on our adjustments and recolor. Flip it just to the engine. Going to change that. I want it to be a goldy color. So about there looks pretty good. Make another copy, Command J, and clip one of these each to these engines. Command J. So all of our engine parts are gold. And another one, Command J, down here to this engine. One more, Command J, down here to this one. So all of our engine parts are now gold. And that is looking pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do on this torso here, I'm going to add a black and white. Flip that just to the torso. Also going to add another one, so Command J, we're going to take that up and clip it to the face. Okay, so we've got that sort of white looking robot picture now. Let's get rid of that and collapse that. You can group all these together if you want to, if you're sort of losing your place a little bit. But the next thing I'm going to do is just right on top, it doesn't matter. I'm going to grab a ellipse and hold my shift key down and make a circle. Place it sort of about there. I'm going to make that ellipse into a pixel layer again. I'm just going to right click and rasterize that. So I've got my circle in place. I'm going to come back to my pen tool now, and then from my circle, I'm just going to click up here and then come all the way down here and make a shape. Click on that one, come all the way back to my circle and bring that shape about there. Look pretty good. On that curve, I'm going to come up here to my fill, pick my swatches and click on fill and fill that in. So these two now, let's click on that curve and rasterize it into another pixel layer. And then on that pixel layer and the circle, we'll highlight both of those, come to layer and merge selected, just so I've got one layer. I can now add a layer effect and a bevel emboss. Let's click on that and we'll just bring it down just until we see that about sort of about there. Looks pretty good. So we've got that in place. Going to copy that as well, Command J. Come over here to my move tool and I'm going to make that smaller. Smaller again. This is going to be part of the elbow. About there. And one more copy, Command J again. Back over here to her armpit here. Place that one about there. Okay, all looking pretty good. Let's grab our next picture now, which is going to be this one here. Command C to copy. Back over to our picture of our cyborg. And again, right on top, Command V. Going to make that nice and small. And come over here. I'm going to change the blend mode to screen. And I'm going to come over here to my blend options on my source layer ranges and drop that all the way down as well. and zoom in, Command plus, and going to fit that in about there. Look pretty good. Right in the middle. Let's make another copy, Command J. Come down to this one. We might have to just manipulate these a little bit more in a sec. So let's come over to here, another copy, Command J. Then this one's going to come up here, make it a bit bigger. Okay, let's go Command 0. Now, right on the bottom, we're going to add a new pixel layer. Come over here to our fill tool, and we'll make sure we've got black. We're right on the bottom here, and we're going to put a black background. You can see that we've got a couple of little cleanup areas that we need to do. So that's on the model itself here. Grab our erase brush tool, and we can get rid of that. Doesn't look too good. And the rest is looking pretty good. Now let's come back up here onto our move tool, and let's make another copy of that so we can make it a bit brighter. And let's have a look at the next one. Command J, make that a bit brighter. So let's have a look at one, Command J a couple of times, and that's looking a little bit better. Okay, just a few more little things to do. All these cutouts or the fill layers that we made, I'm going to change them all to white. So I'm going to come up to select from layer, and then come over here to the fill tool. Make sure we are on white, so we can hit X on our keyboard to swap to white. And then I'm just going to fill all those with white. Command D to get rid of the marching ants, and I'm going to do that to each of these fill layers. And I think that just makes that look a little bit better. So just a couple more things left. So let's click on this top layer all the way down to this layer here. Don't include the black pixel layer. Come up here to layer and merge selected. And then I'm going to copy that, Command J. On the bottom one, I'm going to go to arrange and flip vertical. Grab my move tool. Let's make that a bit smaller. And I might just put that one up into the middle a bit more. And this one down here. And just rotate that. Be about there. Let's move them both up a little bit. Select both of them. Move them both up. About there. Looks pretty good. On the bottom one, let's drop the opacity to 20%. And let's add a live filter here, a Gaussian blur. And let's take that up to about, I'd say about 30, about 35, I reckon. Click on that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Command 0. So there you go, everybody. That is my Cyborg tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. If you would like to support my channel, you can head over to the Buy Me a Coffee site that is linked below, and also the photos that I have used for this tutorial will also be linked below. But until next time, I will say to you, stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.